In the complex world of the young and the restless, every decision and action has profound consequences, not only for the characters themselves but also for their relationships. This situation is no exception, when Summer Newman, who has always had a strained relationship with Kyle Abbott and Claire, begins to make unpredictable moves in Kyle's love life. This creates an emotional mess that Summer cannot ignore, especially when she realizes that she is at risk of losing what she has always sought, Kyle's attention and affection. Summer and the important call, a carefully calculated plan. An ordinary evening becomes a turning point in the battle between Summer and Claire. While Claire is preparing for a romantic evening with Kyle, Summer accidentally overhears Kyle's phone conversation with Claire. Feelings of insecurity, jealousy, and not wanting to lose the person she loves push Summer into action. Despite knowing that intervening in their relationship could complicate matters, Summer decides to follow her instincts. No one knows Summer's motivations better than herself. A strong sense of ownership, combined with her fading relationship with Kyle, has made Summer decide that she can't stand idly by. With an important work call from Tokyo, Summer easily takes advantage of the situation to create a sudden change in Kyle and Claire's evening. She not only wants to ensure that Kyle cancels his evening with Claire, but also that Kyle returns to his responsibilities as a caregiver to Harrison. Manipulation and the master plan. Diane and Jack become babysitters. Summer, with sharp calculation, continues to use the work call to create a situation that leaves Kyle with no choice but to cancel his evening with Claire. As planned, she puts Kyle in an awkward position, forcing him to go to Diane and Jack Abbott's house to help take care of Harrison, instead of having a romantic evening with Claire. Diane and Jack are not Summer's friends, and manipulating them into babysitting Harrison is part of Summer's plan. Despite being a loving mother to Harrison, Summer is not above using all of her connections to get her way. She knows that an evening with Claire and Kyle will never happen if she can keep Kyle focused on his family responsibilities. Summer's limits, emotions and tricks. But while Summer tries to keep the situation under control, she can't help but feel anxious. Although Kyle is still an important part of her life, Summer knows that she can't continue to live in the past, with her broken relationships. This makes her even more determined to take control of the situation, but there are also moments when she doubts her choices. However, Summer's tricks do not always work as she expected. Feelings of jealousy and loss of control gradually make her face the consequences of her actions. After all, true love can never be built on manipulation and control, and Summer will sooner or later realize that she cannot make Kyle belong to her through deception. Open ending. Kyle and Claire's relationship. Meanwhile, Kyle and Claire, who are at a promising start, do not expect that their relationship will face a great challenge from Summer herself. However, with her sincerity and affection, Claire is not easily defeated. Claire is smart, and she realizes that things do not always go as expected. She also understands that this relationship will need to overcome not only external challenges but also the steadfastness of their feelings. As Summer begins to realize that interfering in Claire and Kyle's evening is not just a way to gain the upper hand, but also to confront the truth about her feelings, she will have to make important decisions about her relationship with Kyle. Love can change, and Summer will have to choose between continuing to deceive herself or finding a way to rebuild a more genuine relationship. Opening the future for Claire and Kyle. Claire and Kyle's relationship still has many challenges ahead. Can they overcome Summer's interference? Will Kyle choose a separate path, separate from Summer's control, and find peace and love with Claire? The answer will depend on the decisions they make in the coming days. And like every love story on The Young and the Restless, something as small as an interrupted evening can be the start of a bitter emotional battle. There are many surprises ahead for Claire, Kyle, and Summer, but one thing is for sure, no one can control love forever. In the drama-filled world of The Young and the Restless, small decisions and unexpected events can change the course of a character's relationship. In the case of Kyle, Summer, and Claire, a seemingly normal evening turns out to be the start of a series of tense and unexpected events. Can Summer keep Kyle in her grasp and ruin Claire's night, or will she face unexpected changes that she can't control? Summer, the devious plans and the emergency call. Once Summer decides that Kyle is the one she wants back, she's been trying to get Claire off track. However, her manipulations don't stop at direct arguments or public confrontations. Summer knows that in order to win Kyle back, she can't rely on simple conversations, but must create an emergency situation that he can't leave. Unforeseen events always have a way of forcing people to prioritize them. One of the emergencies that Summer decided to create was a call from the company in Tokyo, demanding that Kyle attend immediately. As Summer predicted, this call prevented Kyle from continuing his personal plans with Claire. She knew that Kyle would not be able to ignore work, and this was her chance to manipulate the situation, leaving Claire alone. Okay, Summer had succeeded in pulling Kyle away from his romantic evening with Claire. But she couldn't stop there. To ensure that Kyle wouldn't be able to return immediately, Summer decided to make Diane Jenkins and Jack Abbott Harrison's caretakers, which would force Kyle to abandon his original plans and face his family responsibilities. Summer didn't hesitate to resort to tricks to keep Kyle close to her and keep him from falling into Claire's hands. Claire, free and determined while Summer is busy plotting her course, Claire, who is still unaware of Summer's interference, continues to maintain a determined and independent attitude. Although she is a little worried about her evening being left behind, she decides to head to the GCAC bar and treat herself to a martini, marking the first step in a private evening that she hopes will help her ease her tensions. As Claire takes the martini from the bartender and takes her first sip, she can't help but mutter to herself, "This is a really strong one." From there, she may have begun to realize that not only her drink but also her life is undergoing unexpected changes. The slight bitterness in the taste of the martini may reflect the mixed feelings inside her as she faces the uncertainty of her relationship with Kyle while also having to stand on her own without him. Holden, a fateful encounter and a test of emotions. Just as Claire was muttering about her drink, a confident voice rang out from behind. "It seems that James Bond is a little stronger than you, if I'm not mistaken." This voice belonged to Holden, a man with a refined appearance and sharp eyes. Holden's joke was not only entertaining but also aroused Claire's attention. She felt a little surprised, but she could not deny that Holden's appearance brought her a new wave of emotions. Holden, a man with a lot of life experience and a bit of charm, seemed to notice the weakness in Claire's appearance. He started chatting with her, expressing his doubts about whether she could handle the challenges of life alone. During this conversation, a hidden connection between the two began to form, although they did not know that this encounter could change their plans later on. However, Holden's plans do not go as he expected. He had planned to fly back to Los Angeles immediately, but an unexpected situation causes his flight to be delayed. This, coincidentally, becomes an opportunity for him to continue his conversation with Claire. This chance encounter does not seem to be a simple situation, but it opens a new door to a promising relationship. Holden, who lives in a turbulent world, may be the one who changes Claire's perspective on relationships, especially after her disappointment with Kyle. Coincidence brings new opportunities. What happens next in Claire's meeting with Holden is a stark contrast to what she had hoped for with Kyle. Holden, with his natural charm and charming flirting skills, makes Claire begin to feel that she is not alone. Not only does she find empathy in her conversation with Holden, but she also comes to realize that sometimes, chance encounters can open up unexpected opportunities. As Claire feels the lightness of Holden's conversation and begins to open up, she realizes that life doesn't always go according to plan. While Claire is in a state of anxiety about her relationship with Kyle, Holden's appearance makes her reevaluate her life choices. Perhaps, this is a sign of a new chapter where she can find independence and new joy from unexpected relationships. Claire and Holden's future relationship. As Holden continues to stay in Genoa City for a while longer, he will have the opportunity to get to know Claire better and discover the depths of her personality. Will this chance encounter develop into a deeper relationship, or just a passing one? It will depend on the decisions Claire makes as she faces the unexpected changes in her life. As for Summer, she may not be happy to learn that Kyle has not only lost an evening with Claire, but may also be starting a new relationship. Can she keep up her game, or will she have to face the reality that her plans don't always work out? When jealousy and emotional schemes lead to love, the clash between Kyle, Summer, Claire, and Holden in the complex and scheming world of the young and the restless, there's no shortage of stories about love, jealousy, and schemes that revolve around winning affection. This episode opens up a tense and dramatic storyline between the main characters, Kyle Abbott, Summer Newman, Claire, and Holden. As relationships are tested and elusive emotions take over, the love story between the characters becomes more than just a battle of the hearts, but also a competition with deeper motivations. Summer, the crafty obstacle maker. Summer is not one to give up easily, especially when she thinks she's on the verge of losing Kyle. Despite having a hard time keeping her relationship with Kyle, Summer can't bear to let Claire, who always makes her feel threatened, steal his attention. For Summer, winning this love game is a must, and she's constantly using every means to get Kyle's attention. It all starts when Summer creates an emergency situation to pull Kyle away from the evening he's planning to spend with Claire. With the help of a work call from Tokyo, Summer easily gets Kyle to cancel his plans and focus on the family responsibilities she knows Kyle can't refuse. However, with her strong personality and wisdom, Claire is not someone who gives up easily, and her relationship with Kyle will not be destroyed so easily. However, Summer does not give up on her plan. She soon realizes that if she wants to get Kyle's full attention, she needs to intervene in the situation between Kyle and Claire more forcefully. But this time, it seems that she does not simply want to make Kyle cancel the evening with Claire, but she actually wants to create a situation in which Kyle will not be able to stop thinking about her. Holden, Kyle's sudden charm and jealousy. While Summer is engrossed in her plan, a new element appears, completely changing the game. Holden, a man with a charming appearance and confident demeanor, starts communicating with Claire at the GCAC bar. Coincidentally, Holden's appearance makes Claire feel a special connection. It was not just a casual conversation, but Holden's charm immediately made Claire feel that the atmosphere between them was special. She could not help but be attracted to Holden's charm and intelligence, who had the ability to make her laugh comfortably. For Holden, this conversation was not just a random encounter, but he also felt a strong attraction towards Claire. The two quickly got along and made the atmosphere between them comfortable. But what Holden did not expect was that jealousy would quickly appear, when Kyle, who was still paying attention to Claire, witnessed Holden seducing Claire and making her laugh. When Kyle appeared at the bar and saw this scene, he could not contain his feelings. Jealousy began to rise when Kyle realized that Holden was taking Claire's attention, something he had always considered his privilege. These emotions only seemed to make the situation more tense, and Kyle probably wouldn't be able to stand by and watch Holden approach Claire without reacting. When Summer discovers that Holden has feelings for Claire, a feeling of jealousy begins to rise within her. Not only is she afraid that Claire might try to lure Kyle to her side, Summer also sees that Holden is a formidable opponent. However, instead of continuing to act alone, Summer begins to think about becoming a matchmaker. With her wits and a bit of cunning in her blood, Summer not only wants to compete with Holden but also wants to try to create a favorable situation for herself, by arranging everything so that she can win Kyle's affection once again. However, Summer's plan is not always as easy as she expected. Instead of letting things go her way, she will need to face a series of challenges, not only from Holden but also from Claire's own emotions and determination. The relationship between Kyle and Claire is still in a rather fragile stage. Despite their special connection, outside factors always complicate matters. When Summer intervenes in Kyle's life once again, his relationship with Claire will face its biggest test yet. Can Kyle overcome his jealousy and find his way back to Claire, or will he be swept away by his past feelings for Summer? On the other hand, Holden is not a threat to be ignored. His attraction to her may be a change Claire is not prepared for. However, Holden is not the only one with a big influence in this story. Kyle and Summer are also preparing for the next steps in their love rivalry. With all these complicated developments, the future of Kyle, Claire, Summer, and Holden is still very uncertain. Where will Kyle and Claire's relationship go with Holden's presence? Will Summer be able to do whatever it takes to win back Kyle's attention and break up the relationship? And meanwhile, what will Holden do when he finds himself facing not only Summer, but also the complicated emotions that Claire brings? Everything is still in development, and these relationships will certainly create a lot of surprises, leaving viewers unable to predict the outcome.